This is exactly what natty lifting looks like. So check it out. You can see more of the middle trap chunk right here, creating that more balled out appearance of the traps. Then you can see kind of that lower insert of the trap. This is a very normal, average type of insert. Now his upper traps are not necessarily as defined. All of this chunk from the acromion up until here, all of that is more of his upper traps. What that's going to look like over time is you're going to see all of the upper and middle traps start to look like a big chunk of muscle from this area. Then the lower traps are more so just going to be more of that kind of width appearance whenever you're doing kind of a lat spread. They're not necessarily giving you a ton of detail because he's got a little bit longer of a torso. Once he develops his erector spinae a little bit more, we're going to see a little bit more of the trap kind of become a strip of muscle as the lats and the erector spinae kind of taper into kind of that trap line. And you're going to start to see a little bit more of a thickness like this. And I think he's going to have a good amount of thickness in the lower back. You can already see a little bit of that line right here as the lats kind of begin and where we can kind of see the erectors popping out. We see a good even amount of infraspinatus and teres development. That's going to be more of your details. We start to see a little bit more of the trap development, and all of that is going to get thicker over time, especially because that's where he's tended to put on a lot of his mass. And looking at the shoulders, we have even development through the front delt, through the rear delt, through the side delt. He's been lifting less than 3 years. He's not super shredded because he's trying to put on mass. And just looking at the other poses, you can see how the lower traps, they kind of fill out the middle part of that back. He's learning how to flex the lats, but they're still building up. He's a taller guy, so it's going to take time for them to fully fill out. The chest development matches the upper back development. There's just mass that needs to be put on. When you're a taller guy with a little bit longer limbs, especially with a longer torso and a little bit shorter of a chest, it's not necessarily going to look like you fill out super quickly. Now, the chest is going to get round a little bit sooner, but to look stacked as a tall guy, that is a journey. But the tall guys have the advantage of having a little bit more of that classic physique kind of look, and that's why you don't see any of the short kings winning classic physique.